catch a season of excitement.
The Minnesota Twins and Channel 4 brought fans all the excitement of the 1989 season. From the opener against the Yankees to Kirby winning the American League batting title on the final day of the season. Next year, the Twins are getting ready to be the team of the 90s. Catch all the action on Channel 4, the Twins station.
The 1980s produced a lifetime of memories for any Twins fan. The opening of the Metrodome, the All-Star Game, a surprise pennant race in 1984, an even more surprising World Championship in 1987, Kirby Puckett's batting championship, Frank Viola's Cy Young Award, Ken Hrbek, Gary Gaetti, record-breaking attendance.
What could top the 80s? Well, maybe the 90s. Hi, I'm Ted Robinson.
And I'm Herb Carneal. Take the nucleus of the world champions and add one of the most promising young pitching staffs in baseball.
And you see why the Twins are focused on the 90s.
Just as the 1960s were the decade of Harmon Killebrew and the 1970s belonged to Rod Carew, Twins fans will remember the 1980s as the Kirby Puckett years. From the time he joined the team in 1984, Puckett has been a fan favorite for his over-the-wall catches.
Kirby, does he have room? Yes, he brought it back! What a catch!
For his long home runs.
Kirby drives it to left. This ball's hit well into the wind, and this one is gone. And Kirby gets his measure of revenge.
And for his sparkling personality.
You know, I'm a nice guy. If I don't like you, there has to be something wrong with you. But other than that, I just go about my business, and I think guys like the way that I approach the game. I go out and I have fun, and when it's time to get serious, I get serious. And then after the game, I'm all laughs and jokes regardless of what happens.
For all that he has already accomplished, there's plenty more to come for Kirby. After all, he'll be only 29 years old at the start of the 1990 season.
And the Twins win!
Puckett led the major leagues with 215 hits in 1989, and for the first time, Kirby won the American League batting championship with a .339 mark, edging Oakland's Carneal for the title on the final day of the season, getting 2 hits at Seattle.
In with a double, and Hale holds at third base.
Puckett's peers voted him the best player in baseball in a mid-season USA Today poll. But as impressive as his talents are, it's his hard work and ever-present smile that earned the ongoing respect of his teammates.
Kirby's great. You have to like the guy.
Kirby's probably the nicest guy on the team. He's an incredible ball player, but he's even more important, I think, an incredible person.
He's human in the clubhouse, and once he hits the field, he's not human.
To right field, Lemon back, can't get it, it's off the tarp.
No, I'm a regular guy. I mean, the clubhouse, a lot of people, you know, when I put on a baseball uniform to a lot of people, I'm put on this pedestal, like I said. You know, people expect me to do this, do that, but I don't think people understand that I wake up every morning, I brush my teeth just like they do, I wash my face just like they do.
Look at the timing.
Well, Kirby Puckett, one of the gifted players in Major League Baseball and just an exceptional talent. The thing that's impressive is that he works so hard, and hard work pays off.
He has a lot of fun day in and day out. I've never seen a guy who works so hard and who is so good and makes it look so easy. And I don't know how he does it. I mean, I've even tried using his bats, and it doesn't work for me as well as it does for him.
Kirby was probably the thing that everybody's going to think of when you talk about 1989. You're going to say Kirby Puckett won the batting title in 1989.
To tell you the truth, I never thought about winning a batting title. I mean, it never crossed my mind. And all I ever wanted to do as a kid was just, baseball was, I I dreamed baseball, I ate baseball, I slept baseball. Everything I did was baseball.
It's also nice to reestablish Minnesota as one of the homes of batting, American League batting titles, along with the Rod Carews and Tony Olivas, and to be able to perpetuate that is a nice thing for the entire organization.
All I want to do is just try to just keep getting better and better and better, if it's possible.
The Twins' focus on the 90s includes many of the players who helped the franchise win a world championship in 1987. Unfortunately, injuries limited the contributions made by Gary Gaetti, Dan Gladden, and Kent Hrbek in 1989. But a return to health by all three is a key to the Twins' quest for more titles in the 90s. Despite time on the disabled list, Gaetti earned a spot on the American League All-Star team for the second straight year and finished the season with 19 homers.
And it is gone. Home run.
While the fiery Gladden provided his usual spark with a .295 batting average and 23 stolen bases.
With a throw to the plate, and Gladden scores.
The big first baseman spent 6 weeks on the disabled list after dislocating his shoulder in May. But when he was in the lineup, Kirby showed that he still has few equals in the power department. Despite missing a third of the season, Hrbek drove in 84 runs and led the team with 25 homers. On September 18th at the Metrodome, Hrbek launched his 200th career home run. That gave him a spot with Harmon Killebrew, Tony Oliva, and Bob Allison in the Twins' 200-homer club. Hrbek needs just 20 homers in 1990 to pass Oliva and move into second place behind Killebrew in the history of the Twins.
It's a milestone. I think the thing I remember most about it, I know who I hit it off of, which was Bert Blyleven. So Bert being the great pitcher he is, and I think somebody asked me who I hit my 100th home run off of. I don't know, but my 200th, I'll know it's Bert Blyleven.
He's a big man. He plays the game like a little kid, and it's remarkable to see this guy do the things that he does on the field. Everything was going good for us, and it was an unfortunate injury. It's probably the biggest injury that we suffered all year was Hrbek going down, because he was our man.
You know, we really need Herbie in the lineup as much as we can. I mean, he's really an important person on this team. Defensively at first base and also offensively also, and he's just, I think he's our leader. I think he's our new leader. You know, nobody wants to win as bad as Herbie, I don't think. He hates to lose.
Diving at first base with his remarkable stretches and pickups, going down the right field line into the bullpen with the over-the-shoulder diving catches, hitting the ball in the upper deck. He's a remarkable baseball player, and he's another big kid enjoying the game of baseball.
It's fun to see your name in the record book, but you know, like you say, you have to go out there and do it and do the job. And I'd like to. I have a goal in mind, and my goal is to play 162 ball games in the season, which I have not yet accomplished, and hopefully someday I will.
If we're going to be contenders at all, we really need him in there. We need him in there as much as possible.
Other members of the 1987 World Championship team who will play key roles for the Twins in the 90s include shortstop Greg Gagne, who combined outstanding defensive play with a .272 batting average in 1989 and more than a little power.
And Gagne shoots that to right center, and that'll be in the gap. With Sosa flying over there, so is Gallagher, and Gagne's on his way to third, and he'll go in with a triple.
Dependable Randy Bush socked 14 home runs in the '89 season and tied a Twins record by driving in 8 runs in a game against Texas.
Randy Bush with his second home run of the game and an 8 RBI night for Bush.
Wow, that's painting up the old stats a little bit right there.
And infielder Al Newman, who led the Twins with 25 stolen bases after getting his first chance to play regularly in the big leagues.
Newman's running. Strikeout. And Newman's in.
Newman also provided outstanding defensive play at second base.
Play. Right
double play by Al Newman, tagging the runner and throwing out Martinez.
At shortstop.
That's going to be a tough play. Newman, long throw, and he got him. Boy, Newman, one thing you know about Al, he's got a pretty good arm.
And at third.
One down the third baseline. Nice play by Newman. Got him.
Newman was just one of the bright spots in the Twins' defense that ranks among the very best in baseball.
Great infield defense by the Twins in the fifth. Newman and Gagne and that man.
Brian Harper, though not a member of the '87 championship team, was one of the Twins' real success stories in 1989. Harper had been tried by 5 major league teams before signing a minor league contract with the Twins in 1988. But he won a spot on the major league roster after a great start in Class AAA. And in 1989, Harper became the Twins' regular catcher. His .325 batting average was the highest ever for a Twins catcher. And his work behind the plate showed tremendous improvement.
Hop up toward the Twins dugout, and Harper makes an outstanding play.
2 men on, 2 men down. Not a friendly face in this baseball town. I gotta make this fool swing. Gotta cut him down, or it's back to the farm. Might as well throw away my arm this time. And it's 1 strike. Caught him looking, and it's 2 strikes. Oh, now I'm cooking. Here's my hard one. As he swings, I see his eyes. Another boy with diamond dreams like mine. Oh, when the crowd's on its feet, how I live for this moment, the bitter and the sweet. Caught him looking. My hard one. As he swings, I see his eyes. Another boy with diamond dreams like mine. Caught him looking. 2 strikes. Ooh, now I'm cooking.
But it's the Twins' pitching staff that really makes the team excited about the future. And the Twins made a major move to focus on the 90s on July 31st, 1989. Just minutes before the Major League trading deadline, the Twins sent Frank Viola to the New York Mets for 5 young pitchers.
You know, as I said, no hard feelings. Let's end it nice. Thank everybody for all the wonderful times I've had in Minnesota, and just go on and start them all over again somewhere else.
4 of those pitchers appeared in a Twins uniform before the end of the '89 season, and all demonstrated that they could make an impact for the Twins well into the 90s. Rick Aguilera, David West, Kevin Tapani, and Tim Drummond all showed flashes of brilliance with the Twins. When combined with young veterans Alan Anderson and Roy Smith, and promising prospects from the Twins farm system such as Mike Dyer and Mark Guthrie, the Twins have a youthful pitching staff that has the potential to become one of the best in baseball.
We need pitching. We've always needed pitching. I mean, everybody always can use extra pitching. Frankie was a great pitcher, one of the best. But we've got 4 or 5 young kids that can really throw the ball, and hopefully they can mature into great pitchers like Frankie has.
You can't expect everybody to be a Frankie Viola or whatever, but we got some guys here that they're determined, and I think that they really want it, and I think that Tom Kelly's going to give them a chance in spring training, and hopefully we can get back in the race.
We got a lot of young, hungry, strike-throwing machines, hopefully, they all are excited about playing in the big leagues, and they go out and they work fast and they throw strikes.
The whole thing is, if you produce up here, I think you're going to have a spot to play somewhere, and I think we can all make ourselves better by, learning from each other and competing against each other, and it's going to be an interesting year.
The competition's going to be real high in spring training, and we got a real good idea now what these people can do, and it should be fun picking 5 out of the 7. It's going to be a tough job, but it's one of those jobs the manager welcomes.
I feel that we have a very good shot. You know, the nucleus of the team is still here, offensively and defensively, pretty much. And the question mark is like in the pitching staff. You know, I know we're going to be kind of young and kind of inexperienced, but then again, we're hungry, and we want to go out and win.
We've got some quality people, and it's just going to be a matter of see if we can put them all together and put a consistency together.
And what the young ones are going to have to do for us is to give us a measure of consistency. But it was our feeling in the organization that we were far better served by being able to have 5 good young starters that were able to take the hill every day and give us a chance of a good starting performance, as opposed to going to maybe have 2 or 3 good solid starters and then really having to scrap your way through the 4th and 5th day.
I mean, being a young pitcher, and I remember when I was young coming to minor leagues, you always wanted to impress. So that first year is going to be a bit tough, but next year, in 1990, should be a great year for these guys.
The competition for spots in the 1990 starting rotation will be intense, and 4 pitchers who were rookies in 1989 have a chance to win a regular term.
And an accurate throw.
There's Mike Dyer, just 23 years old, a hard-throwing right-hander with a good assortment of pitches. He put his potential on display in his final start of the '89 season with a complete game 4-hit win over the White Sox.
Mike Dyer has pitched his first Major League complete game.
25-year-old Kevin Tapani, a college star at Central Michigan University, made an impression in the final month of the season. In his Major League debut, he beat the Texas Rangers, allowing just 2 runs over 7 innings.
Boy, good inning for Kevin Tapani.
Lefty Mark Guthrie, 24 years old, is another former college star at Louisiana State. He started the 1989 season in Class AA, but quickly pitched his way to the majors, where he kept the hitters off balance with a good fastball and a nasty forkball.
Down on a fastball, Guthrie. Pretty impressive inning there as he gets the Tigers quickly.
And David West, a 25-year-old left-hander who had been considered one of the top minor league pitching prospects in all of baseball. Like Tapani, West was stuck behind a number of proven veterans with the New York Mets, but given an opportunity to pitch with the Twins, he showed the ability to be overpowering.
David West sets down the Rangers in order in the 2nd.
A glimpse of what the 90s could be like for the Twins came in a late August series against Seattle at the Metrodome. On successive days, first Dyer, then West, then Guthrie beat the Mariners, allowing a total of only 4 earned runs in 21 innings. In September, the rookies struck again, this time against the Toronto Blue Jays, who were en route to winning the American League East Championship. West, Tapani, and Guthrie pitched the Twins to a 3-game sweep and yielded just 2 earned runs in the process. Of course, it's not just the rookies who give the Twins cause for optimism about the pitching staff. Rick Aguilera, who had been successful with the Mets both as a starter and a reliever, turned in a number of excellent performances for the Twins, capped by a 3-hitter in his final start at Chicago. He's just 28 years old.
Chases a slider, 3 in a row for Aguilera.
Roy Smith, also 28, was one of the Twins' most consistent pitchers in his first full Major League season and finished with a 10-6 record.
Smith with 3 strikeouts, and there's no score.
And then there's lefty Alan Anderson, who followed up his breakthrough season of 1988 with another impressive year in '89. After winning 16 games in '88, Anderson came through with 17 wins in '89. And on opening day 1990, Anderson will be just 26 years old.
You know, the name of the game is consistency, and Al's very consistent in his work habits. You know, every day he's out there doing the same thing, and whether he wins or loses, he's on an even keel, and I think that's what makes him a successful player.
I've watched him the last 2 years, and you can't tell if he's thrown a 4-hit shutout or if he's given up 5 runs in the first inning and got knocked out of the box, because his outlook is so good.
Toward first, tough play for Anderson. Nice pivot and an accurate throw.
Yeah, Allen, after the year he had as ERA leader, he came on and put another 16 wins on the board, and he had a little bit off and on. He was kind of streaky. He was hot, and then he was cold, and then he got started again. And so hopefully he'll be our leader next year and be able to pick up right where he left off.
I've definitely had to make adjustments, you know, with going into every start or every team I faced. There's adjustments that was just constantly being made, it seemed like. And I think that's what was kind of the hard part. You know, I've had a little bit of a roller coaster ride at certain points during the season, and it was just a matter of making the adjustments.
Funny thing is, they talk about how young all the other guys are. Allen's only 25 years old, but he's already won 32 or 35 games in the big leagues, so they don't look at him as being young.
We're not really concerned so much about him being an ace. He just being Allen Anderson and being one of our 10 pitchers and contributing to the ball club the best of his ability. You know, not put a whole brunt of the pitching staff on his shoulders by any means.
I can't have that type of a mental approach because I have a hard enough time conducting myself day in, day out alone. Think about, you know, that, you know, I'm a certain number 1 or 2 pitcher in the staff or whatever. I'm happy to be a part of the pitching staff for the Minnesota Twins, and I want to do my very best.
Taking some of the pressure off the young starting staff will be a pair of battle-hardened veteran relievers. Juan Berenguer finished the 1989 season with a 9-3 record. That improved his overall mark in 3 seasons with the Twins to 25 wins and only 8 losses. And the hard-throwing right-hander continues to average nearly a strikeout an inning. And when the game is on the line, manager Tom Kelly calls on one of the best stoppers in the history of the game, Jeff Reardon, who saved 31 games in 1989 to become the first pitcher ever to save 30 or more games in 5 consecutive seasons.
Trailing 7-2. Jeff Reardon gets his 31st save.
Well, Jeff Reardon is a quality pitcher. He's had one of these God-given talents that you see go through every now and then, and we're blessed to have him around here. And he's been our savior around here since he came over in '87.
He's usually pretty serious. I mean, he's all serious. Jeff's kind of a mean-looking guy, and he's really not mean. But when he's on the mound, he's serious. You know, he usually doesn't talk a whole lot when he's on the mound. You know, and so he's all business out there.
The only thing with Jeff is that he doesn't say anything. And his nickname to us is, we call him Yakety Yak, because he doesn't, usually somebody that yaks all the time talks a lot, and he doesn't say anything. So, I mean, it's just the exact opposite. And you know that TK calls him, he's going to be ready. He's going to give you all these guys.
Once you cross the line, you got to have the confidence that, you know, nobody's going to get a base hit off you, and you're going to put them down 1, 2, 3.
Really, he's been the mainstay in our pitching staff. When you can take and put 9 guys in front of him and have him come in and finish it off in the end, that's a big plus to a pitching staff.
This guy can do it for you. And he achieved something this year that nobody's ever done before. So I think that people should really, you know, take a good look at that. I mean, 30 saves is not easy by no means, and to do it 5 years in a row, that says a lot about a person.
When I go into a game, I just feel like, you know, I want to be perfect out there. I have some games where, you know, I struggle and get the job done, but I'm happy that the team won, but I want to go out there and get them out 1, 2, 3.
Just as the Twins strive to be champions on the field, they also work to be champions in the community. One of the highlights of each summer is the Kent Hrbek Celebrity Golf Classic for ALS. Organized by Hrbek and his wife Jeannie, the 1989 tournament netted nearly $100,000 to aid victims of Lou Gehrig's disease. And it gave Twins fans a chance to rub elbows with their heroes.
You know, my father died in '82 of ALS, and you know, it's touching for me to come out here and see these people helping out and supporting all the people that donated their time and also the great prizes that we have here.
The golf tournament is just one example of the Twins' commitment to help the community through a range of activities that bring nearly $2 million a year to Upper Midwest charities.
And Kirby is...
The Twins' annual fashion show gives fans a chance to see the players and their wives modeling the latest designs. The fashion show has produced more than $100,000 for charity over the last 3 years, with the Ronald McDonald House being the beneficiary of the event in 1989. The first ever Twins Fest provided Twins fans with a weekend of baseball talk to fight the midwinter blues, and it raised nearly $10,000 for Twin Cities charities. And Twins players are generous in devoting their time to charities. Many players have recorded public service announcements to help raise awareness and money for their worthy causes.
It's an issue, really, uncovering the information on POWs and MIAs, not just from Vietnam, but from all wars. Well, you'd want to see somebody come back. There's too many people that are still missing that they haven't confirmed alive or dead. There's got to be some information on these people. Let's get it to the families so they don't live in torment anymore. The ultimate would be to bring somebody home.
So there you have it. The Twins close out the 1980s, and what a memorable decade it was.
Defense, pitching, power, and Puckett. With a combination like that, it's no wonder the Twins are focused on the 90s.